Hey there! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating book summary of Originals by Adam Grant. If you're looking to unleash your creativity and embrace innovation, this book is definitely a must-read. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. But before we dive into the content, I kindly request a moment of your time to appreciate this video by liking it, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that notification bell. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you so much. In Originals, Adam Grant explores what it takes to be an original thinker and how to champion new ideas. The book is filled with insights on how we can become more creative, challenge the status quo, and make a lasting impact in the world. Grant's research presents a compelling argument that anyone can cultivate originality and drive change by adopting certain habits and mindsets. One of the key takeaways from Originals is the importance of embracing doubt and taking risks. Grant argues that successful innovators are not fearless, but rather they embrace their fears and move forward despite them. By understanding that it's okay to have doubts and uncertainties, we can harness the power of our fears to fuel our creativity and originality. Another fascinating concept in the book is the idea of procrastination as a tool for creativity. Grant challenges the common belief that procrastination is always harmful, suggesting that it can actually lead to more original ideas. By allowing ourselves to incubate ideas and explore different possibilities, we can come up with truly groundbreaking innovations. Originals by Adam Grant is a guide to becoming an original thinker and innovator by challenging the status quo, generating creative ideas, and taking calculated risks. It provides insights into the personalities, habits, and thought patterns of successful original thinkers. Adam Grant is an acclaimed consultant and public speaker on the topic of human resources and management. Grant's clients include Google, Goldman Sachs, and Disney Pixar. He is an award-winning professor at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, and he contributes frequently to the New York Times on the topic of workplace psychology. In Originals, Adam Grant taps into the field of original thinking and explores where great ideas come from. By following unconventional rules, Grant gives us helpful guidelines for how we can foster originality in every facet of our lives. He also shows that anyone can enhance his or her creativity and gives foolproof methods for identifying our truly original ideas and following through with them. Originals redefines what being creative means by using many specific examples of how persistence, procrastination, transparency, critical thinking, and perspective can be brought together to change the world. This book hit the shelves less than half a year ago and became an instant bestseller. I hadn't heard of Adam Grant before, but this book sounded like it was in the same vein as Linchpin. Lo and behold, Seth himself has praised the book, so I had to check it out. What you'll get is a book that feels like sitting down with a really smart friend, who tells you countless stories of how creative people tackled seemingly impossible problems and solved them. From Picasso to Beethoven and from bloggers to movie makers, no industry or field is left aside. Further proof that creativity matters everywhere. Now, without further ado, here are 3 lessons from Originals to help you be more creative. Producing great ideas is a matter of quantity. Procrastinate on purpose to trigger the Zeigarnik effect. Repeat yourself and find common reference points to make your crazy ideas more familiar. Want to be original? Let's look at creativity through a new pair of glasses. Lesson 1. Quantity leads to quality when it comes to producing great ideas. When I look back and I see a stack of 17 books and I see 4,800 blog posts and speeches I've given, none of which were good enough, but all of which I shipped, it becomes pretty clear to me that I'm better off shipping than I am making it perfect. Seth Godin. This quote comes straight from a podcast episode by Jeff Goins I listened to this week and perfectly sums up the first lesson. Being an original means fantasizing about a better future, having a vision, and changing the status quo. But more importantly, it means taking actual steps towards making it happen. Most successful creatives don't have better ideas, they just ship more of them. How many Picasso paintings can you name? I couldn't even come up with one. After checking, I recognized Blue Nude and the 3 musicians. If you're good, you can name 3 or 4. In order for you to be able to name that many today, Picasso had to paint 1,800 of them. And that's just paintings. You can add 2,800 ceramics, 1,200 sculptures, and 12,000, yes, 12,000 drawings to that, and you'll finally know why the man is world famous. Even the best artists have no clue which of their pieces will be huge successes and which will be flops. If anything, there's a high chance that the opposite of what you, the creator, expect happens. Beethoven disagreed with his critics in 33% of all cases. It's not your job to judge your work. It's your job to ship it and let the world decide. The more you ship, the higher your chances of having an impact. Lesson 2. Use procrastination strategically and it'll help you fill in the blanks. Shipping a lot is important, but that doesn't mean you should publish half-assed creations and almost done pieces of art before they're ready. So when you're stuck and can't seem to move forward, how about some strategic procrastination? Get this, Martin Luther King Jr. didn't even start writing his famous "I Have a Dream" speech for the March on Washington until the night before he gave it. Even more surprisingly, the line, "I have a dream," wasn't even in it. It was only when someone from the audience told him to tell them about the dream that he decided to forget his script and wing it, and that's when he came up with it. Waiting until the last minute to finish things and leaving them untouched for a while can be valid strategies because they've got something going for them. The Zeigarnik effect. Once you start a task, your brain will keep it around in your subconscious until it's finished, even long after you've already given up on it. This is what's responsible for sudden strokes of genius and brilliant shower ideas. Can go on for some time too. Da Vinci started painting the Mona Lisa in 1503, but then abandoned the project, finishing it 16 years later in 1519. Who's a master procrastinator now? Lesson 3. You can make your crazy ideas less threatening with the mere exposure effect and by repeating yourself. Sometimes, though, you have to step off the crazy creative train for a while and convince others that your ideas are solid, especially when you need funding or someone to give you green light for a project. In those cases, it helps to use 2 techniques to help others slowly get used to your earth-shaking vision. The mere exposure effect. Common points of reference. The mere exposure effect is simple. We get used to the things we're exposed to again and again. Our reception and perspective on things changes over time. Just like you'll get used to seeing yourself on video or in photographs after a while, others will get used to you talking about how average is for losers or other novel and unfamiliar topics. So if you want something to stick, repeat yourself. Common points of reference is a strategy in which you tie your new and unusual idea to a somewhat similar but well-established concept. For example, when Michael Eisner and Maureen Donnelly originally presented their idea for The Lion King, producers thought the story was too dark for a Disney movie. In a second attempt, they mentioned how its storyline was similar to Shakespeare's King Lear and Hamlet, thus winning over the team, because it could now see the validity of the script among fans. The movie went on to become the highest-grossing film of 1994, and the first movie yours truly saw in the movie theater. I love this book. There are so many examples. It's ridiculous. Those alone are well worth your money, but the way Adam Grant uses them to give practical advice for your own creative pursuits makes them even better. One of the best books of the year for sure. A fun place to start learning more is to take Adam's quiz about creativity, specifically designed for the launch of Originals. Originals by Adam Grant is a thought-provoking exploration of what it takes to champion new ideas and challenge the status quo. Here are 3 reasons why this book is worth reading. Showcasing compelling research and real-life examples, it reveals surprising insights into how anyone can become an original thinker. With its practical tips and strategies, the book provides actionable advice on how to encourage creativity and innovation in both personal and professional settings. By dismantling common myths and misconceptions about originality, Grant presents a refreshing take on what it truly means to be creative, making the topic undeniably fascinating. Those are the individuals who truly deserve to immerse themselves in this extraordinary book. Creatives struggling to find support for their ideas. Employees looking to change their workplace for the better. Anyone interested in what it takes to make genius solutions a reality. The 18-year-old infrequent fashion blogger, with new posts out every sometimes. The 33-year-old architect, who sometimes stays up all night to figure out a spacing problem with no luck. And anyone who was shocked the first time they saw The Lion King. Moreover, Originals emphasizes the significance of challenging the norms and questioning authority. Grant provides numerous examples of how original thinkers have disrupted industries and brought about social change by challenging conventional wisdom and pushing boundaries. By fostering a culture that encourages dissent and diversity of thought, we can create a more innovative and inclusive world. We have all heard of that elusive quality known as originality. But while it remains something highly coveted, referring to someone as an original can also bring up connotations of eccentricity or weirdness. So, can there be originality without originals? These keys look at the ways in which you can be nonconformist and original without getting shunned, as well as some of the originals who have challenged the status quo and pushed innovation throughout history. In these keys, you'll find out how your choice of web browser can indicate whether you're original or not, why advocating against your innovative idea is a great way to get people on board, and how procrastination paved the way for one of the most famous speeches in history. Here are some valuable insights extracted from this captivating book. I believe you will find them highly beneficial. Feel encouraged to explore its wisdom further and let it spark new perspectives and ideas on your journey. 1. Originality is your key to a fulfilling career. Look in any dictionary and it'll tell you that originality is the quality of having a unique or singular character. But what's an original? In today's context, originals are people who not only dream up novel ideas and shake up the status quo, but who also take the initiative to make their unique vision a reality. Even the smallest things can identify an original. Economist Michael Hausman discovered in his research that a certain percentage of customer service employees stayed in their jobs far longer than others. Seeking clues, he discovered a surprising link between how long someone kept their job and their choice of internet browser. Sounds crazy, right? Get this. Employees who installed browsers other than the default Internet Explorer were not only more likely to keep their jobs, they were also more likely to take initiative, confront challenges, and find new solutions. In the end, the tendency to install Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox was tied to problem-solving abilities that, in turn, allowed these employees to stay in their jobs an average of 15% longer. As for the other employees who simply used built-in browsers, they approached their roles in the same conventional way as they used the internet. They accepted the standards given to them and were unable to solve problems, which eventually made them sick of their jobs. If you want to survive in the working world, your best bet is to become an original. The good news is anyone can do it. Though we might not all be able to found our own companies, compose a musical masterpiece, or alter the course of history with a stirring speech, we all have unique ideas with the potential to improve our work, our communities, and our relationships. Putting new ideas out there requires courage and the determination not to back down when you want change to happen. The first step toward becoming an original is overcoming your fear of taking action and standing up for your own ideas. But how? Find out in the next keys. 2. Quantity leads to quality when it comes to generating great ideas. Legend has it that physicist Isaac Newton was relaxing under a tree when an apple fell on his head. In a flash of brilliance, Newton was inspired to develop his law of universal gravitation. Unfortunately, great ideas like this usually don't fall from trees. New ideas require hard work. When it comes to idea generation, what's more important, quantity or quality? As it happens, they're equally important, specifically because quantity paves the way for quality in brainstorming. Psychologist Dean Simonton, renowned for his study of creative productivity, demonstrated in his research that highly creative individuals don't necessarily produce better ideas. Rather, they just make more of them. 3. Procrastination can work creative wonders when you use it strategically. Procrastinating, we're told, is your productivity's arch-nemesis. But is this really the case? Leaving stuff to the last minute makes us more creative by forcing us to improvise. Would you have guessed that Martin Luther King Jr.'s most famous line was the result of procrastination? King was set to give a speech at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, but didn't even start writing the speech until the night before. For admitting your weaknesses during a pitch will garner you more support. Have you ever gotten a less than encouraging response to what you thought was your best idea yet? Rest assured, it's not always because your idea is useless. There are a few common factors behind rejections. For one thing, voicing an opinion that threatens to upset the status quo can be a threat to your business career and your network. A massive study conducted across nonprofit, service, retail, and manufacturing companies revealed that the more frequently employees voiced their ideas and concerns to their superiors, the less likely they were to receive raises and promotions over a 2-year period. 5. Make radical ideas familiar by getting them out there often and finding common points of reference. Do you think you look better in the mirror or in a candid photo? Most of us would prefer the reflection we see in the bathroom. Photos of ourselves can be cringeworthy and off-putting. Why is this? Well, because we're seeing ourselves from an unfamiliar angle. It's a classic human tendency to reject things that aren't familiar to us, even our own images. As you might have guessed, this presents another hurdle to dreaming up original ideas. But there are strategies you can implement to make even the most conventional coworker feel comfortable with your unorthodox solutions. 6. The best collaborators are the ones that love to prove you wrong. Regardless of what you're pursuing, if you only listen to people who praise you, you probably won't get very far. It might not be pleasant, but sometimes you need a bit of criticism to help you grow. This was illustrated in a pivotal experiment by psychologist Charlene Namath. Groups of participants were asked to hire one of 3 possible job candidates. The first candidate, John, was presented as having the best skill set for the job. 7. Learn to disguise your ideas to get the supporters you need. Though you might have a network of people who share the same goals and values as you, it's no guarantee that they'll support your ideas. If you want dependable allies, you need to win over your peers by hitting the right tone in your messaging. The trick is not to go over the top, but also to keep people interested. Though we tend to think that common goals are what brings a team together, research has shown that the opposite is true. Dartmouth College psychologists Judith White and Ellen Langer illustrate this finding through the theory of horizontal hostility. This is a form of prejudice that surfaces in relationships between members of the same minority group. Overall, Originals is a thought-provoking and inspiring read that offers valuable lessons on how to embrace our originality and drive positive change. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a creative professional, or simply looking to think outside the box, this book provides practical advice and actionable strategies for unlocking your full potential. So, if you're ready to unleash your creativity and make a difference, make sure to check out Originals by Adam Grant. You can find the link to acquire a copy of this incredible book in the description below. And remember, the world needs more original thinkers like you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you found this book summary helpful, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book summaries and insightful content. And share this uplifting summary with someone who may benefit from hearing them. Leave a comment down below if you've read this book or have any other recommendations for us. Until next time, keep innovating and stay inspired.